Welcome to Pat's Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And this is our episode for October 7th, 2018.
Chips it across the Brandon line, gets there in the left corner, centers Mahovlich, and he scores! Scott Mahovlich has got his first. In front, Ridley, great, pulls it to his forehand, and McNabb made two great stops to the right pad. Into the middle for Henry, shot, he scores! There's Nick Henry's first of the season.
Okay, we will get right into our game reviews for the week. We had two games, one on the road, one at home. The road game in Swift Current on Friday, labeled the Toilet Bowl, the Battle of
The Battle of the Basement.
Battle of the Basement on the unwinning teams. It was an okay game to watch. Outcome was favorable. At least we got our first win. We didn't want to go down in record as being the first Pats team to go 0-5. So thank goodness we avoided that. Overall, it was a fairly good game. A little bit of a surprise there at the start there with Paddock being out, but I was actually really impressed with McNabb. And I know there was a lot of goals in both games that we're going to talk about, but I still don't recognize goaltending as our major issue here.
No, I think it's more just defensive zone play is still lacking and struggling a bit here.
Yeah.
It's in the whole zone. Like we're still running around a bit, and you're just they're still struggling. Like
it's they just struggle. They as soon as they get the puck, they fire it off, and a lot of times it's not even icing. They just fire it to one of their defensemen, and then continue the cycle over and over. And
the defensemen they've got more time than they think they have still. Like
right,
they're just playing hot potato, and they don't want to turn it over, but in essence they are turning it over when they just fire it around the boards, and it just goes to the defenseman, and they keep it in, and it's another opportunity from the point, and it comes back in, and there's rebounds, and you're putting in a lot of the rebounds. Like they're not picking up sticks, picking up bodies.
That's what I noticed. A lot of the goals seem to be rebounds, and McNabb makes that first stop, and then granted, maybe it's a bit of a juicy rebound into the wrong spot. I think they generally try and rebound to the corner, but regardless, he's making that first stop.
Yeah. And
then you have the defenseman with his back the wrong way, and then all of a sudden, the other team has the puck and they score. And I don't know. I mean, that's a simple thing. Get a stick on the guy.
Picking up a stick, picking up a body. Yeah.
So it's not the initial shots that are going in, from my perspective at least. It's those rebounds and not clearing the puck properly, not having breakouts properly, coughing it up in the neutral zone, and them turning around and coming back in. Right?
Yeah.
That being said,
they had a good first period. Like they played real well in that first period.
Yeah.
The power play scored again.
Power play got some goals, so that was great. We're seeing some players emerge. For instance, Pratt tied his goals from last year in one game.
He looks real well on the top line. 3
Absolutely.
goals in the last 2 games. So it's a nice little fit there.
I'm happy to see his progression. And they did talk about this in the offseason. He lost a bunch of weight. He worked really hard in the offseason, and he's seeing some of those rewards. So
now he's playing top line minutes, and he's contributing. Right?
Absolutely.
So he wasn't getting as much opportunity last year, right? Playing third, fourth line minutes, but now he's playing up on the top line and he's responding. So
right. So that's awesome to see. I've been really happy with Robbie Holmes. I know he was a good player last year, but he's stepping up into the role that's expected of him.
Yeah.
He's in there a lot. Some of the young guys, I've been happy. Nyhoff, I've been noticing he's up to the second line now, center.
Yeah, centering that line. So
I don't have a stat on his faceoffs because Jake Lasician's is astronomical. I don't even know but Nyhoff seems to be good. I noticed he was winning some last night against Brandon. I don't know. It's not all doom and gloom. Coming into the season, we knew to expect, so we're not going to sit here and be all depressed about this. But I'm glad we got a win. It ended up being a little ugly.
Yeah, it was,
in the end.
we hung on at the end there.
Yeah.
A couple late penalties cost us.
Yeah.
And, but we won, so that's all that matters. And even last night, Swift Current, they were down to Moose Jaw, and they scored 2 late ones with about 5 minutes to go in the game, and Moose Jaw hung on to win by 1. So, they're a scrappy team, but...
And in any sport where there is tryouts and teams have to be where they're at, I mean, these guys are still WHL players, even if they're young. Any team you're playing, like Swift Current, they've still worked hard to get there, and they're not going to
roll over.
Yeah, you have to keep playing.
Yeah, just because you're up a couple goals doesn't mean you're going to win the game. You can't let your foot off the gas.
Exactly.
You even seen it last night a bit there. Like Brandon was up, 7-1, right? And we came back and we scored a couple goals.
Yeah.
And, we still responded.
They're young, but they're not a total midget team. They still have some decent players. They still have some decent older players from last year sticking around. So,
yeah,
you have to, and you have to play discipline. It's still, they didn't have a lot of penalties in that Swift Current game, but
those 2 late ones, one was for sure a bad penalty by Harkins. Like, I didn't see the other one. You couldn't see it when I watched the video, but the one was bad. He was like trying to fight the guy, and it was just like get off, and that was their last goal to make it a 1-goal game. So, yeah,
I was surprised how bad their goaltender was, Hofer.
Yeah, he let in some rough ones.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. He's got to tighten that. Is he drafted or he?
Yeah, he got drafted last year by St. Louis.
Yeah, he might have some work to do to keep impressing them.
So, yeah, I know that Holmes one from basically the blue line.
Yeah,
that was a real rough one.
Yeah,
and then
even that Lethician goal was
from the side.
He should have had that, I think.
But
so,
you throw the puck on net. Good things will happen, right?
And they had a lot of shots. Both games they had a lot of shots.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
good.
start.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean,
that means you're controlling the play. You're in their end, that's a good start, right?
That's a good starting sign. I know coaches say, just goals matter, but hey, at least it's not, what was it? Edmonton had 1 or 2 shots in the second period in one of their games. This is the Oilers.
Oh, was it? Oh, I didn't.
This year.
Okay.
I don't watch much, but that was one stat I heard. They had 1 or 2 shots in the second period.
Yeah, you're not going to win a game doing that.
Unless you're scoring 100%. But anyway, I was happy to have the win. Got a little closer at the end.
But they, a couple breakdowns. Like that one goal that it was 2-on-2 and Scholler came over to the puck carrier, so it was 2 D-men on one guy and
in the corner.
Yeah, it was going to the corner, and
they both went to the corner,
and they left the guy wide open, and
the
back checking forward couldn't get back, and they tap it in, and just some poor mistakes by older players, like mental mistakes, like it's a 2-on-2. Why are you going to the puck carrier and leaving a guy wide open
while there's already a guy on him?
Yeah, exactly. Like
that was a bizarre choice.
Yeah. So there's still some mental errors that they got to clean up.
Yeah.
Like, stick to your man. You don't have to do the whole thing. Like, it seems like maybe, I'm an older player. I got to do it all because we're not doing well, right?
I wonder, I'm starting to get a little bit of that feeling that guys are trying to do too much on their own. Like, they see the lack of success and they're thinking, and maybe, that's what people think. Okay, what can I do to fix this?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They try and
do
too much, and you can't. You have to stick to the plan. And if Scholler would have just stayed in the middle,
that's not going to be a goal. I don't think.
He would have tied up his man, and the pass would have been hopefully, theoretically, intercepted and then cleared, and then it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But instead, he wanders over there to try and get the puck,
and leaves his man wide open,
and leaves the guy in the slot. I know. I just watching these games. It's not. The players are good enough. They just need to play as a team. I know it sounds cliche, but they have to, either learn the systems or trust the systems that the coaching staff has for them and follow them. Like, you can see the mental breakdowns when they happen, and then even a team like Swift Current is good enough to take advantage of those mistakes.
Right.
And when you have a team like Brandon or Lethbridge or PA or even Saskatoon coming in,
those mistakes get way more magnified.
Right? They'll have a much higher scoring percentage on those
Exactly.
mistakes.
That's why we give up 8 and 7 goals.
And I guess that's what's somewhat encouraging to me is it's just little mistakes that are happening, and they seem fixable.
Yeah,
I'm glad this is. It's early enough in the season, and that's what I'm kind of interested to see over the season is the progression.
Yeah,
like I think we can safely say they probably will miss the playoffs this year unless some major things happen. But I don't see that. We've got a good division. You got great teams. It's going to be tough to make the playoffs here, but as a fan, I want to see them get better.
Exactly. Yeah.
So our last episode this season, we can say, yeah, they looked a lot better, and the outcomes might not be the same because every other team will be getting better. But if they stop making these dumb mistakes, that's all I'm really.
Exactly. And then you get those young guys, learning this stuff and cleaning that stuff up, and then next year, it's just a stepping stone for next year,
right.
So, it's all about kind of just getting these guys going, learning it and moving on, right? So
speaking of mistake, let's get into the Brandon game. That the first period was, and they said this on the radio broadcast, was their best period this season. It was
it looked good. Yeah,
we were sitting there. I was saying, man, if they can do that, they could win. They won that period easily.
Yeah, they just couldn't put the puck in the net. Like, they had quite a few chances. Brandon had a couple power plays. They didn't have any. I think they had one really good chance that McNabb's stopped. It was kind of the high low high play, and he made a great
really good
pad save. Yeah. But other than that, we
at one point the shots were 17-3.
Yeah, so
for us,
we just couldn't. If we could have got a goal or two, it would have changed.
Yeah,
it might have changed the outcome, or even just the way the game went. Right.
And
you
then
get some confidence, and then maybe that stuff in the second period doesn't happen.
Right. And leading up the goal at the end of the period, again, mental mistake. Why change?
Why is the whole
2 seconds
team
left
going off?
Yeah,
you got to know the situation.
And you can see Brandon they have a strategy that they leave a guy on the far side during a power play, and then they try and get it back to him during and it worked there. The goaltender, that's
a great play by the goaltender. He hustled over to grab that puck before it hit the icing line because he can't play it in the corner, right?
Right.
So he gets over there and makes a great pass up.
He saw them changing.
Yeah.
He had the whole parting of the sea there.
Somebody on the ice, like Hyman was obviously laboring because he blocked a couple shots there. But I mean, even him, if he doesn't go off, instead
swing
of struggling to get off, and then somebody's coming on late. Yeah, the guy's got to know the situation, how much time there is. You can't be rushing off with 3 seconds to go in the period. Just stay on.
But you know what? There. I bet you those players never make that mistake again. They'll always remember that.
When you always know at the end of getting near the end of the period, you always, before the face-off, you always take a look at the clock. How much time do we have? Is it a minute? Is it 30 seconds? Am I out here for full shift, or do I have to get off at some point if I can? It's just, one of those things. You always take a look at the clock before the face-off.
And the whole line. It was just oh my God.
Yeah. So.
And then, I don't know if that was resonating with them or what happened in the second period, but, man. So I think in this game, we won the first period, obviously lost the second, and then there was a draw in the third. Yeah. And that second period was, you went from the best period we've had to maybe the worst.
Yeah. That second goal, I don't know what happened. Hyman was just standing on the blue line. I watched the replay.
I was trying to figure it out too
a couple times, but it doesn't go back far enough.
No,
to actually see what happens.
What he was doing.
He just stood there on the blue line, and the guy just took the puck and walked right in and scored.
I don't know if he thought it was offside or what.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was
just
lost
standing there.
He was totally.
So I mean, like, and then a second guy goes by him, and he just like throws a stick out,
Yeah,
tries to
tried to
him.
hook him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and even he didn't even pick him up.
No,
like it was
no.
2 Brandon guys skated right by 3 Regina guys.
He was a
it was like a
pylon.
2-on-0. So if the guy wouldn't have scored, the guy was wide open for a rebound
It felt like the play was over. Like something happened and Brandon didn't hear the whistle. Like that's how
or something.
bad
Yeah,
we looked.
Yeah,
Like everyone was. It was ugly.
yeah. So, but we responded with a goal, make it 2-1.
Yeah.
You know, so
Henry got his first goal.
he got
of the
his
season.
first
So that's
goal later,
nice.
yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe that'll light a little fire for him.
Well, he had 3 assists in Swift Current, so he hadn't scored yet. But you know,
Yeah.
it's always nice to get your first one. So
And then I mean the 2 shorties.
yeah, that's
Yikes. Yeah, that was tough to watch. But it's fumbling up at the blue line. Like,
yeah.
man.
It just no, like in the post game show they said, you know, the older players have to step up. Like if they're not playing well,
Yeah.
these younger guys will get more ice time.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't have your older players making these mistakes. Like you're there to lead this team, and you can't be. You can understand if that's a 17-year-old defenseman making a mistake. Okay, whatever. But when your 20-year-olds are making mistakes like these, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know, 2 shorties on a power play. That's rough.
That's
like,
ugly.
That's real. 2 breakaways yet too. Like,
Yeah.
that put the nail in their coffin pretty much. Like,
Okay, well, that being said, so second period, horrific.
yeah,
The third period, they were still playing. Like,
Yeah, they
guys
came
were
back.
blocking shots, and
yeah.
you know, so I got to give them that. They
responded.
didn't totally roll over and just take it. They came out and played again in the third, and you know, watching Alkmaar out there, the guy's still playing.
Yeah, he's playing hard.
People they're not equating him to an Ovechkin, but they see similarities in his passion and
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
and how much he just
He
seems
skates
to
love
hard.
He's
To
you
play.
know,
He's always
going hard.
Body's flying out there, whether he's
Yeah,
doing
he's
it to
trying to-
himself or someone else is
Trying
doing
to
it
throw
to
a
him.
hit. Yeah.
And then he throws the glove.
Oh, he took a beating. Like he took
did.
a bad hit in the corner right in
That was
front
a
of us.
tough
there.
shift. Yeah,
That should have been a penalty.
yeah. There was a
the-
check from behind or
disgust one.
boarding or charging. The guy came
Yeah.
from quite a ways away.
And then he gets up and struggles to get out of the zone to get outside, and then
Yeah.
he like tries to curl around and takes a fall there.
Yeah.
And then he takes. I didn't really see what happened on.
Why he was on the ground, I didn't see
I
why.
didn't see it
either.
either. Then all of a sudden he gets up, throws his gloves off, chases the guy down, and just starts feeding him a couple. So good for him. I like to see that effort and
Yeah, totally. That
tenacity
was-
and passion.
There's a lot of heart there, and for 3 minutes left. How much time was left? Not much.
No,
Not much time left in a
7-3
7-3
game. Or whatever it
game.
was. Yeah,
to
that
still
point.
haven't been that fired up. That's pretty.
Nice to see.
Yeah, exactly. They still got some heart. So I guess that's encouraging from that game. I mean, I don't know if I was expecting that win, but after the first period, I thought if they can keep it up, it's a winnable game. So they just need to be more consistent and keep playing like they did in that first period. And maybe it's a matter of, okay, so we've done one period like that. In a couple weeks, maybe we can put 2 together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just keep,
And if you win 2 out of 3 periods and you draw the other, you're putting yourself up for a winnable game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So
yeah,
I don't know. Like I don't know if people were expecting us to be all bummed out and stuff, but expectations were where they're at for this season, and no, it was fine.
Yeah, I thought they'd be a little better, but they've played some good teams so far.
They have. That's we have to look. Like you've played
PA,
Saskatoon,
Brandon,
and Lethbridge.
And then we beat Swift Current, which we should beat, and we lost to Moose Jaw by 1, which was a winnable game.
Right.
So
most of our losses are teams that are buzzing around the top 10 of the CHL.
Exactly.
Right. So
we probably should have had that Moose Jaw win or not. Like, so best case scenario, we have 2 wins instead of 1, I think. right? So, and I don't, even that second PA game was only 3-1. Like, we were kind of in it. If we would have had better, if that 5-minute power play would have looked a little better, we could have got a goal or two there. It would have been, it would have been a real close game.
As Paddock said for the last couple of years, it's never, when it's bad, it's never as bad as it seems. And when it's good, it's never as good.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm feeling here. It's not as bad as it seems. If people are sitting there on Facebook and just looking at scores, yeah.
It looks bad, yes.
It looks bad. But
the way they played that
No.
first period, it didn't look like a 7-3 game,
no,
right?
exactly. So, no, I'm fine with how things are going. I just want to see them progressively get better.
Yeah.
That's all we're hoping
just
for
eliminate
this year.
some of these mental mistakes and stuff, and we'll
And we have good coaching. I think it'll be there.
Yeah.
You watch the post games with Strush. He's not like pissed off and throwing things. He's saying, yeah, these are fixable mistakes, and that's great.
Yeah, and like goalie coach said, these guys got to step up, or other guys will get playing time. So just because you're 20 doesn't mean you're going to get that first
It's
top
still
pairing minutes and top line.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there'll be some accountability in the room. So
Yeah. Good. So why don't we talk about some roster changes here? Finally, some resolution to the Fleury saga. Well, not really saga. There wasn't much drama around it, but
no, just decision, I guess.
yeah. So we're not waiting anymore. So he's signed an entry level with Montreal. I don't know where he's assigned yet. Though.
He's signed to Laval.
Is he? Okay.
So yeah.
he's
playing
done
in the AHL.
AHL this year. So we went from beginning of the year having 6 OAs down to, I guess we had resolution to that is Platt was released.
Yeah. So he went to Estevan, so play a year there.
Yeah.
It sounds like then he'll go to U of R next year.
Okay.
So
yeah.
So, but yeah, they knew what the situation is, and I think they told Platt stick around just in case there's an injury or something. You might get a chance. So, and it didn't look like it was panning out. So they decided to release him now. Maybe give him an opportunity before other opportunities close the door.
Yeah.
So, because it sounds like Puto's not back for another 3 to 4 weeks yet. So they'll be running with just 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then we seen last night, Scholler was out, so we only had 1 on the ice.
Yeah.
But, so.
So just following these guys on Instagram and Twitter and stuff, it's tough for the, Platt must have been a good, even Dumba guys,
Yeah.
it's sad. They get a little shooken up when these guys are released, even though they know it's coming. But, it's got to be tough. These are the leaders and older guys in the team that probably a lot of guys looked up to, and they're there one day and gone the next. But
Yeah. No, they make some friendships and,
yeah,
seeing them go.
yeah. So
But I see even Dumba already got traded in the BCHL, so him and Gurney are playing together. Can't remember with what team in Nanaimo, I think.
right,
maybe,
and
but
then Gurney was reassigned down to out west.
Yeah, so now they're playing on the same team together right now. So.
Okay.
But I'm not really following it. I just happened to see that.
Interesting.
So.
Some league news. Memorial Cup was awarded to Kelowna, the 2020 Memorial Cup.
Yeah, so that was an interesting decision. I think Lethbridge would have been like the proper pick team-wise.
Yeah.
I think. And Kamloops, I don't know. Kamloops.
Do you think Lethbridge is peaking this year? Where's their team at?
Possibly, yeah. Like I didn't really delve into the roster, but I know Kelowna doesn't have a roster for this year, so maybe they'll be on the upswing next year. But I don't know. They're really struggling this year. So, yeah, but it's all about the money. It's whoever can guarantee the biggest.
There's someone brought up a little bit of conflict of interest with possibly this decision.
Yeah, well, the owner or the GM is the chairman of the board of the WHL, so
yeah, funny how that works. Hey?
Yeah, and and you just say how much. Okay, we're going to guarantee this much money profit, and that's what happens. That's what Saskatoon did. That's how they won it, and they didn't even make that much money, so the government had to.
Well, that's
chip
what
in.
I'm just going to say. Like, you're saying it's about money, but the Pats lost money on our Memorial Cup. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is it? Is it money or recognition?
We guaranteed money, so they had to pay that out out of their pocket to guarantee that profit. So, yeah, like I don't know, like
It's just the allure.
yeah.
We're hosting Memorial Cup, and
So
yeah.
there's only so many cities teams that can do it. Like they've
Right.
priced out half the league, if not
Right.
half the league teams in all the leagues, if not more. Like any small market team doesn't have a chance at it. So,
But what kind of, do you think a small market is it the right place for a Memorial Cup? Like, say, would Moose Jaw, those smaller markets even?
I don't know. Like, do you think they have a big enough
That's what I mean.
building? And I don't know. It all comes down kind of ownership, right?
Yeah.
So that's, yeah. Well, you
Regardless,
look at Halifax,
yeah.
they got a massive building. So,
Yeah. Regardless, it's beyond what we have scope of our knowledge. So,
yeah, for sure.
2020, Kia's the new sponsor. MasterCard's out.
Yeah, they
Even for this
20 years, they ended their contract or whatever. Kia's in for 5 years, so
Was there talk about how much they paid?
no idea. I didn't hear anything about
Yeah.
that, but I heard the rumors a couple of months ago that Kia was interested.
Yeah,
So maybe I can get a hookup with some tickets. And
that
we
would
can
be, yeah.
get out to Kelowna next year or next year.
If we can get tickets, you just have to get there.
Yeah,
Places to stay, so
yeah. Definitely.
never know.
Kelowna's
Maybe we'll be
always
live
nice.
from the 2020 Memorial Cup.
Yeah, possibly. It's a nice place to be.
Yeah,
Kelowna.
in
so.
May. It'd be very nice. Some other news around the league. PA keeps rolling. They lost last night to Red Deer, but they're looking strong. They're 7-1 right now.
Yeah, no, they're definitely rolling, and picking up Gregor, that was a nice little pickup
Yeah.
for them because I don't know if they knew he was coming back or what, but they got him now, so that was nice.
Saskatoon beat Lethbridge. Man, Lethbridge coming from a team ranked top 3 in the CHL. Now they have a losing record.
Yeah, they lost both games this weekend, so
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I think there's higher expectations.
yeah.
with
You look at
them.
Edmonton is a little surprising. They were 5-0 at one point. Now they're
Edmonton's
5-2.
rolling. Victoria's 6-0.
That's surprising too. They had a real team last year.
Yeah.
So they lost a lot of guys, and yeah, they still haven't lost yet. They're the only team that's undefeated. So, Vancouver is definitely picked to be either the best or top 2 in that division, and they're right there as well. But Victoria, I think, is a little surprising at the top.
Going back to the CHL top 10, Lethbridge was still number 3. Probably, I could see them dropping off.
Yeah,
Top 10.
Edmonton jumped up.
Yeah, they
Where
were
was PA?
5. PA was 4.
4. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they'll be right up there now.
Yeah. But, I mean, looking at it, London, they're 2-1, and they're still second. Like, I don't know, this top 10 is kind of...
Yeah, it's kind of hokey.
It is, yeah. It doesn't really count for too much, but
No.
it's nice to see the Dubs getting a fair bit of recognition here.
Yeah.
Right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 teams out of the 10. So
There you go. Okay.
yeah, and then the honorable mentions 2 out of the 3.
Oh,
So I could see Victoria getting on there,
yeah.
and Lethbridge falling off.
Yeah.
Update on Puckgate. Still waiting.
Yeah, we might have to
escalate this a little bit. I mean, it's the kids. If someone thinks of the children here, it's not us.
Yeah.
Someone's
no.
got to think of the kids. But they're not tweeting out who won anyways.
Well, they did last night. They
Oh.
didn't for the Swift Current game
Okay.
because who scored? Swift Current?
Pierce.
Pierce. Yeah, and
I don't know if anyone picked him.
there was one I see.
Okay.
But they didn't announce who won
Mm,
Friday night. But they did announce the 3 winners last night.
okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah, a little bit of
So
drama. We'll get to the bottom of that though.
yeah, some lucky kid will get a puck from us.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Looking towards next week, got a bit of a road trip. A road trip might be good for this team right now too.
Yeah,
Some bonding time on the bus.
Definitely.
Hotels, meals. Getting to know your roommate a little bit better. Might be good. Tough game in perceivably a tough game. Who knows what Lethbridge is doing right now.
Yeah.
So that's on Wednesday. Kootenay on the Friday.
Yes, that should be, that's a winnable game.
Yeah.
We should be able to compete with them.
Yeah.
And same thing with Calgary. Like, they're
Yeah,
struggling
Calgary's
a bit.
not
They're struggling a bit, so,
putting up
we
points.
can,
So-
3 games in 5 days. That's not terrible. You got a game day break between them.
Yeah.
So, and that's not a huge road trip either. So,
No, it's not too long. It's not, good,
Yeah.
well spaced out games.
yeah.
And not a ton of travel. Depends when they leave. But what are your predictions?
I don't know if
for
they're
that?
doing the overnight trip like Brandon did and then Lethbridge did and then get whooped in Brandon.
Yeah,
So maybe we'll be getting some rooms and some proper sleep.
yeah.
So, Lethbridge is gonna be tough. So in Kootenay, Calgary, that's those are both winnable. So
Yeah.
if we can get at least 1-2 would be nice.
So out of possible 6 points, 4?
Yeah, 4 would be nice. 3, 4.
Be nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
say, I could see a 3. I could see an overtime game there. Yeah.
I think if we can get 3, it'd be nice. 4 would be awesome.
Yeah, coming back, we don't have another home game until the 17th.
Yeah, little roadie there, and then we're back for 4 in a row.
Good.
Yeah, all right.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's about it.
Good. Right on, everyone. Remember to follow us. I think most of you probably are, but let us know how things are going. Interact with us at WHL Patscast on both Twitter and Instagram. Okay, we will talk to you again this week.
All right, thanks,
All right,
guys.
Bye.